The homosexual community argues that since they are born gay and are attracted to the same sex, and as a minority under the Civil Rights Act, have a right to marry. Does the Civil Rights Act only protect the politically correct sexual minority groups such as LGBT and not other sexual minority groups? How can the LGBT claim to be tolerant, yet they discriminate against other sexual minority groups, such as polygamists, bestiality, prostitution, incest, and pedophilia? Are homosexuals pedophobic? Of course not. They have always supported groups such as NAMBLA, North American Men Boy Love Association. But they cannot tell you that publicly until they have gained enough rights to marry themselves. Then, and only then, will they tell the pedophiles, groups like NAMBLA, to come out of the closet because they are born that way also and are also protected under the Civil Rights Act. The homosexual community also argues separation of church and state, and that churches should have no say regarding civil issues or civil marriages, especially pertaining to the homosexual community. How can the homosexual community, which supports civil rights, at the same time claim separation of church and state? Does not the homosexual community realize that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., considered the leader of the civil rights movement, was a Baptist minister? Even Jesus Christ, if he were an American citizen and a registered voter based on his own teachings, would have voted yes on Proposition 8. For he states in his own words in St. Matthew, the 19th chapter, verses 4 through 6, "In the beginning, God created them male and female. And a man should leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. What God has put together, let no man divide." Does that make Jesus Christ a homophobic bigot? I think not. Or the 6 justices on the California Supreme Court that voted to uphold traditional marriage. Does that make them homophobic bigots? I think not. Then why? Why do the homosexuals claim that if I support the ruling of the California Supreme Court and believe the teachings of Jesus Christ, that I am a homophobic bigot? Things that make you go, I argue that the homosexual community uses similar tactics as were used during American slavery and Nazi Germany. And there are 4 necessary steps that one must take to promote their false teachings. 1, you must deny absolute truth regarding your specific issue.
Recognizes marriage as only between one man and one woman.
Yeah. Because they cannot live in a community that teaches their children that marriage can be between a man and a man and a woman and a woman.
Number 2, you must use fear and intimidation. Point 3, You must have media, educators, and politicians promote your lie. And finally, you must minimize or eliminate the voice of opposition. During American slavery and Nazi Germany, politicians, educators, religious leaders lied to the general public. They took a people from their homeland, some 20 million Negroes, brought them in chains to this continent under slave labor for the economic growth of these United States of America. They raped their women, they killed, hung, and shot their men, and they classified them as 3/5 human, justifying their actions. Nazi Germany took an estimated 6 million Jews and experimented on them, murdered and raped and killed their families, put them in incinerators for the fatherland and the economic good of the country. And it's been estimated even another 6 to 12 million blacks, Christians, Slavs, gypsies were also murdered and killed and raped. Because in America and in Nazi Germany, these people were subhuman. But it was all based on a lie. And how did good, decent, honest people go along with it? And we say it was wrong. Today we say it was wrong. It's wrong, and you're right. How did good, decent, honest people go along with it? The same reason we are going along with the homosexual ideology today. Because they love their jobs, their families, their homes, their vacations, their bank accounts, moving up the corporate ladder. So they turned a blind eye and refused to speak out concerning the ill wills perpetrated on these people. So we are doing the same thing today, based on a lie. A moral wrong does not make a civil right. How many gay white men sat on the back of the bus or drank from the colored-only drinking fountain in the 50s? None. White gay men and white straight men sat in the front of the bus. Black gay men, black straight men sat in the back of the bus because it was not a civil rights issue. The media and the politicians today want us to believe that the homosexual community are so innocent. It seems as there's never any reports of them doing any wrong. Blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians, religious leaders, political leaders commit crimes, and the news is plastered over the internet, over the media. Yet homosexuals never commit any crimes. Isn't that amazing? Don't homosexuals abuse their partners, put them in the hospital? Don't homosexuals commit homicides and serious criminal acts? But you never hear about it in the media. Why are they protecting them? If they're equal just like everyone, why are they being protected? Because it's an agenda. And they have to only give you the side they want you to hear about them to protect them from the negative that they also participate in. It's a lie.